Committee to order Tuesday, March 21st, 2023. The time is now 9 a.m. Can I get a roll call, please?
Chair Garcia,
Here.
Vice Chair Ozak,
Here.
Member Cahill,
Here.
Member Desart, here, Member Galassi, Member Zay.
Here.
I want to thank the other board members that are not part of this. I think Member Evans might have some special guests here today if you wanted to introduce them.
Yeah, I have 4 students from Hinsdale Central High School, and they are in Mr. Chris Wilbur's AP US Government class.
Well, welcome. Hopefully we can entertain you and educate you today. So, okay. Is there any public comment today?
No.
Okay. I'm looking for approval of the minutes of 23/11/65, the public works minutes of the regular meeting of Tuesday, March 7th, 2023. We got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, looking for a motion approval of item 23/11/66, payment of claims, public works and facilities management.
So moved. Second.
Moving in a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're looking for the approval of the motion for 23/11/67 Public Works. It's for $795,800 budget transfer needed for engineering for permitting and review, building improvements, employee uniforms, miscellaneous meeting expenses for safety lunch, printing for envelope contract, engineering for lake water allocation, and on-call engineering commitments. Nick, did you want to explain this one just a little bit to the board?
The vast majority of it. So this is our 2023 budget. Vast majority of this has to do with our building construction. You'll see 600,000 or 461,000. So we unfortunately put it in the wrong line. We put it in building construction. It need to be a building improvement. So it's like one line off. So that's the vast majority of it. And it's just a matter of making sure we have everything in the right lines. So we're not, no more money. It's just moving stuff around.
Housekeeping.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. We got a motion and a second, I believe. Any other discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to bid awards, looking for a motion to approve DTP 005523, a recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Al Warren Oil Company to furnish and deliver gasoline and diesel fuel as needed for the Division of Transportation and Public Works for the period of April 1st, 2023 through March 31st, 2024 for a contract total not to exceed $1,750,000. Looking for a motion.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? I know we're getting the benefit of volume pricing on this.
DOT is actually the lead agency on this one, since they have obviously the major volume, but we get the benefit of them going on the street with such a higher volume.
Any other discussion? No. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Looking for an approval for FMP 005323, a recommendation for the approval of a contract to Dynamic Industrial Services, Inc. to provide fuel tank rehab painting at the power plant for facilities management for the period of March 29th, 2023 through November 30th, 2023 for a total contract amount not to exceed $46,000. Motion and seconds. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to 8C, looking for a motion to approve FMP 005923, a recommendation for the approval of a contract to Facility Gateway Corporation to provide uninterrupted power supply, preventative maintenance, and on-call emergency repair service as needed for facilities management and the Emergency Telephone System Board for
So moved.
a 2-year period for April 1st, 2023 through March 31st, 2025 for a total amount not to exceed $74,773.30. We've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Looking for a motion to approve FMP 005423, a recommendation for the approval of a contract to Petroleum Traders Corporation to furnish and deliver off-road diesel fuel as needed for the power plant and standby power facility for the period April 1st, 2023 through March 31st, 2024, facilities management for contract total not to exceed $101,000. We've got a motion.
Second.
Seconds. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving into bid renewals, Looking for a motion to approve FMP 005223, recommendation for the approval of a contract to A&P Grease Trappers, Inc. for sanitary grease trap and storm basin pumping, jetting, and cleaning as needed for the county campus for the facilities management for a period of April 14, 2023 through April 13, 2024, for a total contract amount not to exceed $82,950 per renewal option under bid award 21017 FM.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Looking for motion to approve FMP 005523, a recommendation for the approval of a contract to Thompson Electronics Company for preventive maintenance, testing, and repair of the Edwards Systems Technology fire panels for the county campus for facilities management for the 2-year period, April 14, 2023 through April 13, 2025, for a total contract amount not to exceed $121,500.
So moved.
Got a motion?
Second.
A motion and second. Any discussion on this? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to joint purchasing agreement, looking for a motion to approve 231168, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Halloran Power Equipment, Inc. for the purchase of one Toro Spraymaster Max for grounds for facilities manager for the period of March 21st, 2023 through November 30th, 2023 for a contract total amount not to exceed $15,803.04.
So moved.
Motion. Second. I have a quick question. What is a Toro Spraymaster Max for grounds?
Turning to our
Yeah,
expert.
this has to go, yeah, I was afraid you were gonna ask that.
Yeah.
This has to do with turf. We're doing more and more work in-house.
Okay,
So this will be used throughout the campus that we have for turf management.
okay, so it's just a matter of just cutting it or?
No, this has to do
edging it
with application,
For application.
fertilizer, primarily fertilizer, right?
Okay, great. Thank you. I kind of figured that's what it was, but I
Right.
wasn't sure. And I want to make sure we do it right now. Mary?
Why is it joint?
We joint purchasing.
It's a co-op type price.
Oh, okay, got it.
So the nice thing is every time, and that's for all of our bids, whenever we have any purchases, we look in the state contract first. Obviously, we shop around, try to find the best price we can. If there's a federal, state, cooperative, we find everything. You know, our last line of defense is we'll bid it out ourselves if we can't find good pricing that's been done by them. But for this, a good example of we found a good cooperative purchasing price to take advantage out there, and we did.
Just seemed new to me that you were putting it under this section. So that's fine. Just curious. All right, thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to professional service agreement, looking for a motion to approve PWP 002923, a recommendation for the approval of an agreement between the County of DuPage, Illinois, and Christopher B. Burke Engineering Limited for an on-call professional engineering services for water systems and Lake Michigan allocation for various regions around DuPage County for the period of March 28, 2023 to June 30th, 2026 for a total amount not to exceed $95,000.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Looking for a motion to approve FMP 005823, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Hampton, Lenzini, and Renwick, Inc. to provide professional architectural and engineering design services for sidewalk repairs on county campus for facilities management for the period of March 28, 2023 through November 30th, 2024 for a total contract amount not to exceed $121,560. Is there a motion? Second. Any discussion on this?
Yes, why? Tell us about sidewalk repairs for 121,000.
This is just design. So if you look across our campus, we have a tremendous amount of sidewalks out there, and a lot of them are original to the county complex, and we do have a lot of trip and fall hazards across our campus, and we've had a number of trip and fall accidents across our campus. And so we are looking at, potentially, I mean, this is just design. We're going to have a construction contract at some point to reduce the number of sidewalks where we can, but more importantly, to make it so we don't have trip or falls anymore. The courtyard is the best example. If you want to see it, walk through there. There's a lot of trip and fall hazards in there.
Actually, oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Was there something? Okay.
Sorry.
I have another question. So is there any redesign going on, or is it just basically replacement? Because
No, that's a great question. And And I can tell you our team with a lot of them over there right now, for several years, we've been looking at the flow of traffic. What makes sense? Because there's some sidewalks that we have here on campus, no one uses. And so they are looking at it from a green landscape perspective. What is the flow? We've got, and we will present to this committee once we have the final design, you will see it. But with a fairly big change to how the flow is happening, especially in the courtyard. But it's not just a courtyard. We have sidewalks all over too. But yes, that's absolutely, and I know Jen and Jeff have been doing that for a while under the direction of Tim to do that.
Our goal in June is for the consultant to give a presentation for your consideration of how much money if you wanted to spend extra to do above and beyond.
The nice thing about sidewalks are you don't have to, we will have the design. We don't necessarily have to move forward all at the same time. We can do as big or small of sections as we want to, as you decide as a Public Works Committee.
Member Rozak?
The buildings date to the early 70s, right? So a share of these sidewalks could be 50 years old.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And
With not a lot of maintenance in the meanwhile.
not a lot, and we just keep adding more sidewalks. And
As a project happens or whatever.
And so if the courtyard, one of the things, and I know why they did it, because I was here when they did it. If you look in the courtyard, you've got the sidewalks going there and then you have brick pavers on the side. And the reason why those were put there is you have to be able to have a fire truck go down there. And unfortunately, those brick pavers have become probably the biggest trip and fall hazards that we have. And so all of those, the external ribbons, all of that has to be taken out. And we have to still account for the fire truck getting into the courtyard in case if we have a problem with one of the buildings. But it was a great idea when it came on, but it hasn't held up over, the past 20 years.
And originally that was a road.
Yeah, it was. That used to be a parking lot.
Drive right through there. So I mean, probably not the best design of having a road run next to your jail and your courthouse. So
Easy out.
And there's, that's some interesting points for that. Like, Member Zay said, that used to be a road there. We said that was our main parking right there, service parking. But when we built the annex, there's actually a partially finished underground parking garage underneath there that as budget cuts, if you remember during that process, that was taken out of the scope.
Yeah.
So it's not very big, but that was taken out the last second. So it's just some interesting facts for the courtyard over there.
Question, we allocated, what, 10 million to the new parking garage structure. So could this be part of, could that 10 million be used for this instead of allocating another 122,000?
So what we did, we're not looking for more money from the county. This is part of the facilities budget already.
Okay.
So it's already part of it. If you remember the 10 million, our presentation, we said there's a total $20 million price tag that included the parking deck, the sidewalks, and the stormwater management. So that was, and then the 10 million was the first payment. So that is part of it. And ultimately, we will have to have that discussion later in the year is how you, Public Works Committee, would like to spend that money. Obviously, parking deck is a pressure point. Sidewalks are a pressure point. Stormwater is an absolute pressure point because we can't move forward on our project. So it's a matter of balancing what we want to do.
Has the county been sued for someone tripping and falling on our county campuses?
There have been suits because of it. Yeah, I mean, is that
Pat's here.
Yes, good morning, Pat Genovese. We've had several lawsuits, some of which, one in particular goes back to 2018, that is still not resolved. So this has had a negative impact on staff because they have to prepare for depositions and then give depositions. It's very time consuming. Fortunately, our state's attorney doesn't charge us for defense cost. Otherwise we'd be all over budget, I guarantee you. Unfortunately, many citizens have been injured and removed to CDH by ambulance due to these slip and fall hazards as a result of these lack of maintenance on these sidewalks.
I will say it's not necessarily a lack of maintenance. I mean, you have sidewalks that
On the
heave.
record.
Right.
It's just not, so.
Any other discussion? I mean, I'm all in favor of making the campus here as safe as possible. I'm also in favor of getting more or less impermeable surface here if possible. I think that's always a good. I would assume my stormwater colleague over there would agree. So I think this is a good thing. So looking for a vote on this. So we've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, looking for approval to PWP 003023, recommendation for the approval of a contract to LMK Technologies, Inc. for lateral lining materials and equipment repair as needed for Public Works for a 4-year period of March 28th, 2023 to March 31st, 2027 for a contract total not to exceed $120,000.
I could say something else.
And Nick, could you say something about this in terms of the contract?
Second.
So.
Motion a second?
For the new members who may not realize it, so the lateral lining, we are probably the only public works agency in the area that does our own lateral lining. We're very, very proud of that. And obviously we have all the equipment, we've gone through the training, and this is the actual material that needed for it. But the amount that we save is probably, Sean, what do you think? It's probably, if we were to hire somebody, it'd be how many
About
times?
30% of the cost. So a typical service line is between 6,000 and 7,000. We do it for about 2,000.
And we are the only public works agency that does it. A lot of other ones actually come to us and ask if we can help them with their lateral lining. So we're very proud of that fact.
All right, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Great work, everybody. Motion to approve FMP 005723, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Metropolitan Industries, Inc. to provide pump repairs, replacement pump parts, and replacement Metropolitan pumps as needed for the county campus for facilities management for the 2-year period of April 14, 2023 through April 13, 2025, for a total contract amount not to exceed $60,000.
So moved.
Motion?
Second.
Second. All those, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Any old business to discuss today? I know we have a couple things under new business.
Madam Chair, I did have
Oh,
something.
yes, I'm sorry.
We're gonna talk about parking garage. I noticed the garage is not as full as it used to be. We have a lot of staff that's parking in the other lot. I mean, is there a policy here that you have to park in a certain location? Because obviously if they're parked over on the side of the building, there's less room for the public to park. I mean, do we gotta start thinking about designating for the public to, every once in a while you get an email that says, I had to come to the county to pay my property tax and I had to park, all the way by the health department and walk all the way over because there was no parking. Have we thought about coming up with a policy where, are there spots for like the treasurer's office and the clerk's office? I mean, are they designated spots in the garage?
So I know that Tim has been working with our security with Keith Briggs to get staff to park in the parking garage. That has been our goal because the public cannot enter through the parking garage anymore. They have to use the surface parking lot. There are emails that go out fairly frequently to do that, especially when there is the property tax. But we do think that this issue will be solved once and for all. We are going to be, and we will be doing a security update. And one of the items we're going to talk about is potentially limiting or eliminating employee access to that door over there to come in, because then that will force the issue that the staff needs to park in the parking garage. And you're exactly right. The problem is that is the only spot for the public to park. And when our staff takes up that surface parking lot, they're kind of, where do they go? And so we've been battling that for a while. So absolutely.
And what was interesting, an observation on, President's Day or Lincoln's Day is a court holiday, but not a holiday for the rest of us. A lot was 60% empty. So a majority of it is folks who are in a 503. But still, you are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And there are times we're frustrated when a lot is incredibly full.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so moving on to new business now, we've got Tim Harbaugh.
Two items under new business. The first is, at the end of the week, staff is proposing to apply for a grant, the Chicago Regional Tree Initiative. This should be a $25,000 grant. It would not require any changes to the budget. At the following meeting, we were going back, bringing the documentation for you to go to full board for authorization to apply. But this is a grant that we actually have an edge on because of past work we've done with the Arboretum, This would be a good one.
Are you gonna go straight to board on this one?
No, we'll go in 2 weeks with paperwork for that. So, but there's no fiscal commitment beyond what's already within our budget. And then the other one is I wanted to introduce Ian Johnston. Ian, his title is Capital Projects Energy Analyst, but he's actually be our sustainability person. He's in the corner. Ian has a bachelor's degree from University of Wisconsin and a master's in sustainability management from University of Wisconsin. And on his resume, his professional summary is passionate about working toward a sustainable future for both people and the planet. So
Good.
looks like a good fit, right? And as you mentioned a while ago, this is a creative position. So this is a new position with more of a clean slate. We've got a lot of data, a lot of work for him to analyze, to go through, and then we'll be off and running.
University of Wisconsin.
I know.
Well,
I know.
that was the extra points that
Yeah,
got him
yeah.
in here being a
Did you go
badger.
to University?
I did. I know it's just coincidence. I don't
They
know.
just win the women's NCAA hockey championship.
They did.
My friend's daughter plays on the team.
Oh, that's fun.
So Ian is going to work much like I know Jen and Jeff work with all the different departments on their projects. Ian will as well. All the new construction that we're doing on campus, that team will be working with every single department to ensure that what they're putting on is, environmentally in line with the viewpoints of the board. So
And enjoy.
enjoy. Sorry, didn't mean to. You're not sitting with the rest of the group over there. Enjoy. So.
Ran out of room.
Environmental people.
Yeah.
We're very excited, Ian. I
You
look
built
forward
all
to
the stuff
meeting with you
yesterday.
and seeing what you do in the future. So welcome aboard. So really excited about that. And I'm excited about the grant for the trees also. Tim, so is that anything we can do for more sustainability on the campus is a good thing. So anybody else have any new business?
I do.
Oh, Harry, do you want to introduce your students?
And I apologize for being
That's
late.
all
We
right.
were finishing up the economic
I know.
development. I just want to introduce, we have 5 students here from Hinsdale Central's AP Government class that they have a 8-hour responsibility for their class requirements, and they have to shadow somebody in elected office, and I'm honored that they chose to shadow me, and so they're here observing today. So please welcome them with me.
Are we gonna have a trivia contest between the two?
What else? Member Ozark.
And I want to welcome our students, but I also wanted to make a comment. This meeting went fast and we heard everything discussed and voted on, but I want you all to know that hours of staff time went into this. Our chair meets with Mr. Kottmeyer about what we're going to put on the agenda, and all of these people work really hard to get this on this 2 pieces of paper. So I just wanted to point that out. So
And then
there's
to
a lot
add
of
to that-
behind the scenes work.
To add to that, we get a board packet that we read
Yes.
through for hours to study each little issue. I mean, each little issue on this paper
We see
is
the
like one
contracts.
paragraph.
It's about a
We see, like,
1,500 page.
Exactly.
So 1,500 pages for every 2 weeks for the board packet for all of these items.
We
So when you
did
get out of
have
school,
a-
there's still reading to be done. Don't get me done with reading. which would be
I
great.
did, thank you for that background. I did meet with the students last night and go over the agenda and just kind of explain like what I do to prepare and what all this means. And
Great.
there's there's backup for the backup and, how it goes from here to finance, so just to try to give them an overview of
Fantastic. That's
how it's
great.
happening.
I think member Kottmeyer remembers, we used to get that printed.
We did.
Yes.
I mean, we used to get binders full
We
of.
used to drop it off at every
House.
member's
Yep.
house
Yep.
the morning of, or like usually the day before. So.
Thank goodness for digital and saving a few trees. That's
Yes.
all I'm gonna say. All right, so any other old business? Thank you, students, for coming. And with that, we are adjourned.
Thank you.